Boss Rush 460 day 5. So I've got another variation of the strategy I was using before with Aranna. But this time we found a way to do it in under 3 minutes consistently. And it's a little bit strange. So I'm using Aranna with her first equipment here still. Using Malchezaar with his second equipment because we don't want either of his other equipments. This mercenary is whatever mercenary you have that can taunt themselves before Drek'Thar acts that is lower hit points than both Malchezaar and Aranna. So in this case, I'm using Cariol for this. I was originally using Uther and taunting himself, and using his third equipment to grant Divine Shields. You don't really need the Divine Shields, but mine was too high hit points, and one of Drek'Thar's attacks targets the lowest health enemy. So that's why this is important here. But you could use literally anything that has a taunt and has less hit points than these other two mercenaries. You could even use Vandar with his equipment that gives him taunt passively, as long as his hit points are lower than Malchezaar and Aranna. And then Hooktusk, her equipment shouldn't really matter. I'm using Prop Knife. Again, his equipment also shouldn't really matter. I'm just using this one because we were doing some other testing with birds, and I don't want to accidentally heal for 100 on one of these guys when I'm trying to kill them off. And then Rogers shouldn't matter as well. And that Rogers could also be any other artillery mercenary. So our plan here is to just all realities everything, and we're skipping any actions that don't contribute to that plan. One of the key things about this with all realities previously was that makes it slower was that you'd have to sometimes wait to all realities because Drek'Thar was not the first one to act out of the three. But this solution fixes that because we lose this mercenary on the first turn. So we're just going to Entonement, give her Taunt. So since we lose that, now we bring out Hooktusk. And what that allows us to do is turn this left wolf blue so that it doesn't matter what happens when we all realities, because both of these guys are going to be blue. Just keep Entomenting. And sometimes this third wolf will act first, but it goes at 2 speed when that happens. So you'd have like a 2 speed cast here, and the all realities will go after that, so we don't care. Then we turn this guy blue. And then we're going to use a turnabout strike to turn the last one blue and kill off Hooktusk. And because these wolves never use a melee attack, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they go down to 5 hit points and you still have Malchezaar alive, because then Malchezaar can just swing into them the following turn. And another nice thing about Rogers as your second artillery mercenary is if your Malchezaar is really weak, you can heal the bleed off with her second ability here. So, like, this is an example. But now we're just waiting for all realities. So you just pass turns and cast all realities. When the second one gets all reality'd, then you just swing into it with Malchezaar the following turn. And you do have to make sure that it's, when you do the all realities, it's not in the turn that he casts the 2 speed.
I can smell your fear.
There you go. And that's the whole fight. Now you just hit artillery strike 75% of the time. If you're sub 300 damage, you'd have to hit a second one or get it upgraded throughout the rest of the fights. And we hit it here, so that's a win. So this is just as good as last week's Gar farm, except now we get more renown for every run. We thought that this one was going to be a little bit slower, but it turns out there is a way to do it consistently with pretty much the same strategy that we were using on the single target boss, because Drek'Thar is so incredibly easy with those adds not scaling their swipe damage or anything. So I guess Rogers probably is the sort of automatic choice for the second artillery strike, since Eudora has a heal, but it's got slow animations and puts you on the bench. And none of the other artillery strike mercenaries really do anything beneficial for you, since Smolderwing is the biggest. And Rogers is also blue for Kresh, so I think she's just the auto pick instead of it being whatever one you want. There you have it, 115 per run. Just takes a few minutes, so get your grinding in, because this is a good one.